You want to see change, you're going to have to do the work. I'm telling you, as I am telling me at the same time. Anytime I don't do the work, I don't see the change. And it doesn't mean I have to work my, like I have no sense, but reasonable. A little more than reasonable sometimes, depending on what phase that specific part of the business is in. That's it right there. I have to do the work over and over. If you want to see your blessings, do the work. You have it inside of you, but it shows up and it feels like you're blessed once you get the work done. Once you do what you set out to do. We actually walk in and take away that blessings when we do not do the work. Well, I mean, that means that you can't bless somebody else. You can't share it to somebody else because you are stepping in there and not getting the work done. So you can't share it with anybody else. You want to win? You want to see you win? Do the work so that you get to celebrate. And for me, there's a dance party that happened when I get to celebrate that work, right? And when a person that's coaching with me wins, then I'm celebrating them, right? But if I got the work that I set out to do done, I'm celebrating. I'm going to start sharing my screen again, and I want to showcase to you the my schedule. And I'm going to walk you through because I had this huge schedule, and then I broke it down, and then I broke it down, and then I broke it down. And when I first started, I needed to dump everything out to see why I was doing so much. Was it bringing the results I want? Because sometimes you feel like you're doing the work, but you're not getting the results. And sometimes most times, I will say, it's because we stretched ourselves. I can't even speak. And I'm not cutting this out too far. And so therefore, we can get there. So I want you to know you can get there. I had to really tighten it on what happens on Monday to Friday and give myself big breaks in between to just recharge and want to be there. I can work later in the day, but I need that recharging at some point. Abundance. I had to also sit down and recognize I was living this abundant life already. And I was behaving like I was suffering. And in some regard, yes, because I haven't hit to where I want to be or do the things I want to do, or I wasn't allowing myself to actually do it. But I was living in abundance. And it depends on what you see that is too. And if you feel you're not living it, start listing down the things that you associate being in abundant with and see how many you have already had a chance to live within. And then work on adding the rest. It is such a refresher when you realize, hey, I've been actually doing what it is I was whining that I want to get done. I've actually been doing it. And movement. I went away on a cruise, and when I come back, I couldn't get myself back into my exercise routine. And what I realized was I wanted to come back in and dive right in after having such a jolly good time. I did work out a little bit on the cruise, but I got out to routine, and it was hard for me to give myself permission to get back into routine. And the truth is, all I had to do was do 3 days away, 3 days a week, and then get back into 5, and then my 6. Instead, I lessened the time per day, and then I cut it out altogether. I can't even tell you why I was arguing with me initially, and then I start figuring it out because I talk about money mindset and I budget to do stuff, and I really did well on the trip, but some things did went over that I didn't want to, and I start focusing on that thing. I had enough money to do what I need to do. I brought back money. My kids had a good time. I had a good time. I was just getting myself in a funk in all areas of life. But I wasn't actually doing the things I set out to do, which, when you look back, it's really, truly silly. But we get ourselves in a funk. If anything I want you to take away from this is to understand, when you have to do something, you got to do it over and over. You got to put in and do the work. And most things on this list, you probably like me, have it down pat. And if you don't, you can go in and pick out spots where you're doing well. The change you want to see, the blessings you want to receive that you think it's not there, the wins that you think you're not receiving when it happened already, the abundant life that you want to live, but you're probably in the midst of it and not recognizing, and the movement you're doing, whether it's just walking, not getting back into your routine. And once I was able to really talk to myself this week and say, hey girl, you're going to do 3 days a week instead of 6, and then you're going to work back up to 6, I felt better. The beating stopped because I was doing that over and over. Remember, even though you mightn't be doing the good stuff over and over, you do the bad stuff over and over. You and I, we are not exempt from this, all right? If nothing, you take away. Examine, do some self-examination. See where you want to be, see where you want to go, but pay attention to what you have already, what you've been doing. Like, this is a new YouTube channel for me, and you're getting a lot of raw videos from me because I think I'm at this place where I need to do that and then go back in and worry about edit and get everything right and looking spiffy. This is where we're at right now, and I want to stop fighting that and move my way into productivity. Is really important for me to grow my business, to make money and help people make money themselves. So, Coach Karen Fern, happy Wealthy Winning Wednesday. I love to give my days of the week a theme, and my upload is going to be on Wednesdays. I'm going to talk about things on Wednesday, so this is what you're going to get. And we're going to always have these conversations. I hope it's helpful to you. And I'm glad I'm getting to talk to you about this. Tell me where you're at, what you're doing. Tell me what you'd like to see happen and how you're going about it. Let's have a conversation. Okay? Bye for now.